First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler, as always. Thank you for joining us. You know, I say that every time we start a segment because I do mean it. So thanks for being here, whether you're finding us on the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel or at kptv.com under the Fox 12 Now tab or through the Fox 12 Oregon app. Any one of those is great. So however it is, thanks for being here. And if you're a regular watcher, you know that on Thursdays we are joined by Eric Goranson from Around the House Northwest, always with a preview of this week's episode and advice and tips and tricks on so many different things. But today, this is definitely one. Anytime you do one that's do something on a budget or save money, I'm like, that is right up my alley. And this is something that I'm sure, actually, I'm going to be getting into one of these things pretty soon. So I'm really excited to hear the advice. But yeah, updating your kitchen or bathroom on a budget.
Man, I tell you what, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. It's always fun talking about this stuff because on a budget's the harder part. It's easy to go out and spend $100,000 to do a kitchen. I mean, that's easy to spend.
I could do that, yeah.
Nobody wants to do that, though, these days because that's a lot of money. So it's all good. But there's so many things you can do on a budget, and that's the fun start. So you just look at the kitchen first. One of the easiest things that you can do in there is swap out the lighting. Lighting is like, you can have a beautifully designed kitchen, and if you don't have the lighting right, it doesn't look great. So you can go in there, change the light fixtures out, change the color temperature. And what I mean by color temperature is it a blue, like office refrigerator, like a 5,000 Kelvin light, or is it more like an old yellow incandescent at 2,000 Kelvin? So get the right color temperature, kind of in the mid. I kind of like in that 2,500 to 3,000 mark. Gives you really good, light without, and especially in the kitchen, because if you get too bright of a white in there, it kind of washes out the food. Your food doesn't look great. So you want to kind of have a great color temperature in there that's a little more warm, makes things look good. And then everything is well lit because after all, you still got to work in there.
Yeah. Do you recommend getting smart bulbs for that? Dial those in?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. LED lights are great. You can put little LED tape light like under the cabinets, and it's literally like peeling off the back and peel and stick tape, and it's got LED lights in it. So you don't have to go in with those like 1980s fluorescent things that look horrible. You can put that up there, and you've got smart controls for that. And then in the ceiling, you got a couple different things. Older houses sometimes just have a couple ceiling fixtures. You can maybe swap that out for some cool, track type stuff in there that's more contemporary. Not 1977 track lighting, but something that looks cool. Or if you've got the can light, the first thing you can do is at least change the bulbs out for those recessed cans. And if you want to take it to the next level, you get rid of those 6-inch can lights that are big, update them into like a little 3-inch and do some drywall patching.
Huh, nice. And that looks, I would imagine, a lot better, and probably you get just as much light, if not more.
Yeah, and here's the cool thing. When you look into a kitchen that's got like those 1980s big 6-inch recessed lights, your eyes get drawn up to the ceiling because all you see are these big spotlights coming down. When you get down into 2- and 3-inch lights, sometimes you can't even tell where the light's coming from, and it just looks really like the room glows, and that's a really cool way to go, and it brings your eye back down into the room.
That's great, and it changes that whole feel, and not expensive, so definitely on a budget, so that's a good one. What's something else somebody should do?
Another one is updating that cabinet hardware and putting something nice in there. If you've got that 1990s brass, the polished brass that was so popular for 30 years. And you're like, I want to do something cool, maybe upgrade it to a brushed brass or something like that that's really in. And you can go around and change out that hardware. I mean, you can spend as little as a couple bucks a knob up to 10 or 20 bucks a knob if you want to get crazy. But you can go through and for a few $100 swap out that hardware and make it look like $1 million. And then at the same point, you can maybe swap out that faucet so it matches. And you've got a nice little update already.
That's great. Yeah, and something that is easily noticeable too, but not that hard to do. Just a bunch of screws, really, essentially, I would imagine, as far as changing those out.
It's even easier when you've got a knob. You can go in there and just unscrew those off there, put a cool little updated backing plate on it, change the entire look and style of that. It's so cool with that. Handles, you'll have to get some measurements to make sure that you get the right center to center on the holes. To get that to work right, but there's a lot of different styles out there for that. So you can find something at your local hardware store or online.
Great. All right. So two good pieces of advice right there for the kitchen. Anything else for the kitchen? Or
Yeah, one more there. If you could go around, I mean, take a look. There might be some cool rebates on appliances for energy efficient stuff. So take a look at that. Might be a time to, if that refrigerator or dishwasher, it's on its last leg, maybe time to upgrade that. And that can give a whole new look, especially if you got like that almond one or something from the 2000s, to put something stainless in there or something cool and start to elevate that look again. And it'll be quieter and save you money on water.
All right, so some great advice right there for the kitchen. 3 easy ways to do that and give it a new look. What about in the bathroom?
Some of the same rules apply for the bathroom, like lighting and handles, that kind of stuff right there. But one of the easiest ones, it's a great DIY project, is upgrading that toilet. That toilet, especially if you got something that's like an old 1990s or early 2000s, the things weren't working great, even if you bought a good one. These days, you can take them from, maybe a 3-gallon flush down to a 1-gallon flush. So every time you flush it, you're going to save literally 2 gallons of water. That's a huge savings year round, especially if you got 2 or 3 people in the house. That can save you hundreds of bucks a year, and that toilet starts to pay for itself. And it looks good. You can get some cool features on them. There's ones now that if you want to spend a little more money, they're self-cleaning. You get them with all the different options. And a lot of the toilets now come in comfort height, so they're a little bit taller. So it's a little easier on your knees and back when you go in there.
And what would you think is a good range as far as dollar-wise on spending something like that, for something like that?
On a toilet, to get a good one, you're probably going to be $300 and up. The last thing you want to do is go into the home center and buy that off-brand, store brand one right there. Because if you have to flush that one, 2 times, you're really not saving that much money. So you want to get in, go to good brand. I recommend actually going into your local plumbing store, the wholesaler, not the big box store, to get a toilet, because they've got some brands that you're not going to see in there that are going to last even longer than ones you see in your local home improvement store.
All right, and that's not that much if you're going to be doing a whole remodel, a couple hundred, $200-300. And if you get something that's going to last for a long time too and save money. So yeah, I'm talking myself into it right now, because
yeah, I mean, if you're going to save, let's say you save $125 a year on water, that pays for itself really quickly, especially if you're buying a toilet like that that'll last 10+ years.
Yeah. All right. So there's a good piece of advice for the bathroom. What else can you do in there?
Another thing is just go in there and clean up that tile. Go get go down to your rental store or get out your steam cleaner. Really give that tile a good scrubbing, whether it's on the floor or the shower, and get in there and get it cleaned up. If it's older tile that's probably older than 5 years, it probably needs resealing anyway. And so that's something you should be doing probably every year if you've got older tile, is sealing that up so it doesn't get dirty again. So get in there, steam clean it up, get it knocked out, get it cleaned up, and then make sure you're probably putting sealer on it every 6 months to a year, depending on the sealer you use. And that'll keep it cleaner, and it just brightens the entire room up. The other thing you can do is take a look at the faucet and the tub shower faucet, whatever you have in there in that bathroom. You can upgrade that. Sometimes you can, even if it's an older one, just buy the trim only and put new trim on it if the valve behind it and everything's working good. And that's a great way to save some money there. And it can really elevate that when you're changing out hardware, sink, maybe a new mirror, and new trim on the faucet. That starts to look like $1 million.
Yeah, and all stuff that you can do fairly easily too for inexpensive.
Exactly. And the last thing I'm going to say on both those rooms, coat a really good bathroom or kitchen paint, something that's good for moisture. Those are great things. And while you're at it, if you're in there painting, you might as well get down and service that vent hood, whether it's in the kitchen or in the vent fan in the bathroom. Make sure those are working great. Fix those up. And it's just giving you healthier air in the home while you're at it.
All right, so all nice pieces of advice there. And again, everybody can share these segments wherever you are, wherever you're watching this, you can share this and let other people know about it, but some good tips and tricks right there. Let's talk about Around the House Northwest.
Got a big announcement. We have a brand new show coming up here this Saturday, and I'm really excited. We've done some updates to the show, and that's why we've had some best of stuff mixed into the show this last month. So we've got a brand new show coming up, something super fun, a little more design oriented. We're going to talk about different homes from high end to the entry level stuff out there. And we've got lots of tips and tricks, a little less of the big projects. I'm not going to be doing this big remodel each week, which is going to be fun. It gives us a fresh chance to really do some new stuff in the show and give people a real good chance to be able to learn a lot about their home, which is their biggest investment. So doesn't matter if you're renting and you're needing some design ideas, or if you're buying your forever home, we've got something for you.
That's great. So that's pretty exciting right there. So new show coming up, and I'm sure we can't give any teases on that. We want people to check this out.
I'll give one
You
tease.
can. Okay.
We go in and take a look at this amazing home that has this outdoor living space that is absolutely stunning that you got to check out. I mean, this thing is incredible. I want to show you that. And then I'm going to show you how to build a countertop, a DIY countertop that you can actually do without having to have the pros come in. And it's green, so it's sustainable and all made out of recycled materials that you can actually work like wood.
That's a great tease right there. So that's going to be on this week's episode. And where and how can people watch?
All right. If you want to catch last week's, of course, that'll be tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Fox 12 Plus, and the brand new Around the House Northwest airs Saturday at 10 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus, and of course, Sunday at 6.
There we go. All right, well, Eric, always good to have you on here, and congrats on the new show. That's exciting. Yeah, I'm excited to see how that all works, and everybody can go check it out all those times that you just mentioned. And of course, at the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel too, there's all the past segments that people can take a look at, and yeah, go check all those out for both Around the House Northwest and for Fox 12 Now. For everybody watching, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it, Eric. Good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend.
All right, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you soon with more Fox 12 Now.